So today's our topic is homeostasis. So what is homeostasis? Homeostasis is despite the changes in the external environment, our body's environment remain the same. For example, despite the changes in the external environment temperature, our body temperature will be at 37 degrees centigrade. So this is homeostasis. To keep the homeostasis of body, there are three systems that work together to make the homeostasis of our body. First is negative feedback. In negative feedback, basically what happens that if we have given any stimulus, like for example, there is a stimulus of there is increase in BP. So what that negative feedback will do, that will normalize the BP, that will decrease the BP and will come to the normal range of the BP. Next is positive feedback. The examples of positive feedback is clothing system, Elliott surge, action potential, parturition, shock, entry of calcium inside sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so these are the examples of positive feedback. Now, what is positive feedback? Let's see it. That in action potential, first initially what happens that only some channels of sodium voltage gated sodium channels opens, and when the threshold level reached, that is minus 55 millivolt, the firing level reached, then all the sodium gated channels and there is a fast influx of the sodium channels. So the slow movement of initially the slow movement of sodium channels stimulated the fast opening sodium voltage gated channels. So this is positive feedback. So initially there will be the stimulus that is present, like the sodium influx was slow, and after some time that sodium influx was increased. So this is all about the positive feedback. Same happens in parturition, that when the baby descend, there is stretching of the uterine cervix muscles. So what happens that it gives the stimulus to the uterus so that it contracts vigorously and will push the baby forward. So this is positive feedback. And positive feedback is always not positive, because you can see an example, that is shock, that when the BP is decreased in shock, that means the blood supply to the heart will also decrease, and if the blood supply to the heart decrease, then the heart will not contract efficiently, so the blood supply to the tissues will further decrease. So this is an example that positive feedback is not always beneficial. Okay, so next is feed forward system. Feed forward, we can say feed forward system is an anticipatory system. The other name for feed forward system is anticipatory system. So what happens in anticipatory system, that for example, if a person is thinking about some kind of food that he loves, or he or she loves, then there will be salivation in his mouth, there will be salivatory secretions in their mouth. So this is an example of feed forward system. So this is all about how a homeostasis taking place in our body. There are three systems that take place to make the homeostasis of body, that is negative feedback, positive feedback and feed forward system. And how we will calculate that, the effectiveness of negative feedback. So the formula for that is that gain is equal to correction upon error. So what is correction and what is error? Correction is that is made by our regulatory system, positive, negative or any other. Mainly the negative, we are talking about the negative feedback system. So the correction is that the correction that is made by the negative feedback system. Like for example, the BP was increased to 140. The negative feedback corrected it and it came to 130 mm of Hg, and then the correction will be 10 mm of Hg. Normally our BP is 120 mm Hg, the systolic BP is 120 mm Hg. So what is the error remained? That is also 10 mm Hg. So the correction is the amount decreased by the negative feedback, and the error is the amount that is left behind to the normal level. Okay, so this is all about the homeostasis part of our chapter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. One last thing is that is asked frequently, that the infinite gain, or we can say that the zero error, is of which system? That is by our kidneys in the regulation of BP. There is zero error and there is infinite gain. The maximum gain practically that can happen is -33, that is for the